Who am I? I am the legendary Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Where do I even start with this movie? As a lot of you probably know, this movie kinda has just become a smash hit out of nowhere. I don't even remember the first Puss in Boots that well. I just remember it had the titular character Puss in Boots. Why is this such a smash hit? Well, the big thing right off the bat, the animation. DreamWorks really outdid themselves with this one. The animation, it's so hard to describe, because, the only thing that I can draw comparisons to, really, is, Into the Spider-Verse, and it almost had, that cell shading stuff at times, but the movie really didn't, it really wasn't, cell shaded. But it had, that, where the characters would move and they'd kind of be it looks like it's taking pages out of a comic book and whatnot. And it would just have cartoony effects, and it just looked really good. And other sequences as well were just very stylized. They'd go from one character to a different character, and they'd have this cool stylized effect where it kind of warps and all that, and just wow. Yeah, the animation is incredible. If you are a huge animation fan, you owe it to yourself to go see the movie. Now, as for the basic rundown of the plot of this movie, basically Puss, being the great adventurer that he is, and just all that he's done, he's actually died a couple times. But being a cat, he has 9 lives, and we get to this scene where he actually dies again at the beginning of the movie, and he then finds out he's on to his last life because he was not the wisest person and spent his other lives in very stupid ways. And then this character who's like a wolf is hunting him down, and Puss is actually scared for his life now because he is down to his last life. So he's running away from this guy, and eventually he finds out about this wish, or rather a map that will grant him any wish. And he thinks, oh, using this wish, I can get my lives back. And then I won't have to worry about this, and I can be Puss in Boots, the great adventure, the legend once more. So that's what kicks off the main plot of the movie. Now, along the journey, we meet multiple entertaining characters. The first, we meet this Chihuahua, which is, I believe they named him Pederico or something. Sorry if I butchered it. I'll put the correct spelling in there. But he's basically a Chihuahua, and he's probably my favorite character, if not one of my favorite characters in this movie. He's just so upbeat and happy, and he hasn't had the best life, but he has a good outlook on life, and he's just so adorable. And the banter between him and Puss, and then another character, which I'm going to mention after this, is just so entertaining. So that other character would be Kitty Softpaws. And I believe she might have actually been in the first Puss in Boots movie. I'll put on screen if so. But if not, basically she's another outlaw. She's a cat thief, a talking cat. And she is basically kind of like Puss's love interest, and they don't exactly see eye to eye all the time, but he wants to impress her too, because he does kind of like her. She's basically his love interest. And then I won't spoil really any of the other characters because they're just such a treat. But there is another group of characters that are very important in the movie, and there's another big dude who's also important to this movie, who they're all great characters. One thing I really gotta say about this movie is all the characters hit. I enjoyed every single one of them. Another aspect of this movie that really lands is the comedy. Now, as this is supposed to be more, like, kid-friendly, obviously, some of the comedy, like, well, yes, I think I laughed at mostly everything. Some of the comedy you might not, if you're older, might not find as funny just because it's more aimed towards kids and it's supposed to be them laughing at that. But they also sneak in quite a bit of adult stuff, honestly. They have, like, swearing and stuff, but they bleep it out. And that was, like, the way they insert it in there is really funny. And I think that's just going to go over kids' heads, so shouldn't be an issue. But, like, it's just done very goofily, and it's pretty funny. But the banter between all the characters is pretty hilarious. And a bunch of the more goofball characters, not so bright characters, make this movie especially funny. And one thing that caught me off guard, actually, is Puss actually has, like, panic attacks in this movie because of his fear for death in this wolf character that's coming after him. And they do these sequences so well. His vision gets blurry, his heartbeat gets, like, rapid, and he's, like, has a very hard time calming down. He's actually really scared, and I think the movie did a good job of conveying this. They make all of his hairs stand up when the wolf character is around, and they make the sound and all that very eerie and deafening almost. So everything is really good in it. Those scenes really hit you. Like, you almost feel scared for Puss in those moments. On that note, I just want to say the other, like, raw emotion that's in this movie was done really well. I don't really cry with movies a lot, but I'm gonna be honest, I teared up a little more towards the end of this movie. So yeah, I think for this movie, honestly, like, it really is that good. It really is as good as people are saying. Don't skip out on this movie. Go see it as soon as you can. I already want to see it a second time. Heck, I'd go watch it a third time. I want to watch this movie many more times. So that being said, we're gonna give this movie 10 out of 10 smackaroonies, and that's the first movie I've given here on my channel 10 out of 10. So yeah, it's very deserving. Well, hope you guys enjoyed, and now that you've watched this, if you haven't gone and seen Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, go watch it right now. I'll see you guys in the next one.